Hello and welcome to The Blackbird Speaks. This is a series of episodes where I'll speak to other women, not exclusive to women. There will be some men along the way, I'm sure. But it's more about being inclusive, finding a safe space to speak with other women, to hear about sisterhood, to also talk about friendship, family, career, and aspirations. So I encourage you all to come with curiosity and to leave with kindness. Today I've got my very special guest here, Bisi Akinola-Arutoghor. She's a long-term friend, and she has been kind of the inspiration when I was first talking about running this series and kind of setting up this program. She was the one that encouraged me to just do it. It started off with some open word and just being able to express myself in a certain way. And because she was my inspiration, it felt only right to have her here today as my first guest. So welcome, Bisi.
Thank you very much, Tracy.
So I guess, where do we start? We've been friends for a lifetime almost. I think we met around, well, I was probably around 15, 16.
A very, very long time.
Yeah. So I've not put ages in there so people won't know how long
Yeah,
that's
I think
actually
I was
been.
about 17, 18. Yeah.
And yeah, I'll just to give some
A long time.
a really long time. So give some context. Obviously, we were friends. We met at youth club, and yeah, then we started to kind of
hmm
rave together, to go out and boogie together, and then you moved away, didn't you? To I think Birmingham, and then on to London. Is that right?
Yes, I moved to London in 99 and we
Wow.
met at a mutual friend's 40th birthday party, which is about 11 years ago. And then it turned out that you lived just up the road from where I lived, which was really weird, even though I haven't seen you for a very long time. And then we met up and I think we just reconnected again. So, which is
Yeah,
really nice. That was,
beautiful.
yeah, so that's 11 years ago. Is that, yeah, yeah. Wow.
Gosh, yeah. Yeah, that was beautiful. After not seeing each other for so many years and then to randomly meet and reconnect as if and just pick up where we left off. And even now, we don't see each other all the time, but we're always in touch, either text
Yes.
or we arrange to meet up at least once a year. So, yeah. And you've been there through some, yeah, challenges
Yes,
and
yeah.
milestones. Yeah. As I said, yeah, I like to create this space to talk about aspirations and different careers because I kind of sat down and realized that a lot of the women in my circle of friends and acquaintances are very much entrepreneurs and have an entrepreneurial, such a word, spirit. And so you are in my view, more than just a mother and a wife and a special friend, of course, but also you're a lyricist and an artist. Um, and so, yeah, I guess, as I've said in the subject, how did we get here? So tell us about how you kind of moved into that space.
So when I was 13, I wrote my first poem, but I hid it away. And then when I got older, I wrote a bit more, and for some reason, I came out of my shell. I let other people know that I was writing poetry, so I then got commissioned for it. So it's like, oh, people like my work. And then the art creation stuff started in 2019. I wanted something for Black History Month. So I went to get a map of Africa and then gone from maps to silhouettes of African people and then just extended to using African fabric to make make necklaces out of wood, earrings, you make bracelets, coasters, and it's just gone from there really. Just my creative side just come out. So when you said that you want to do something and you're a bit nervous about it, I said just go for
Yeah. And I appreciate that because it was nerve wracking because it was hard to kind of articulate what it was that I wanted to do. But now that I can see it, it's been born. I can kind of see where I'd like it to go. And it's a way of also kind of celebrating the women in my life and the special gifts that they have. You know, you've definitely got a special gift, more than just a friend. You've been an amazing friend and are an amazing friend, not being, you are. And yeah, you're also doing great things because you've also got books as well, have you not?
Thank you. Likewise. Yes,
And you,
I've got five poetry books. So two are for adolescent girls and boys looking at mental health, self-esteem, self-confidence. One is looking at domestic abuse, and then those three were quite heavy. So I thought, let me just do a little bit lighter. So I've got another book called Things That Make You Go, looking at different topics, and The Season That I Smile.
oh,
So I have those, but then also I do art, so art creation, using African fabric and then putting it onto wood, put it maybe as a silhouette. And I venture there's so many ideas going in my head. So sometimes I know what you're saying is, you didn't know what you were doing, you want to streamline it, but sometimes you just go with the flow, whatever takes your fancy and just go with it. And they say, oh, I didn't know I could do that. And then from that, other things come off it. So there's no end to the creativity.
absolutely. And I remember the many like coffees and lunches that we've had together talking about it and just sharing ideas and obviously you sharing with me your work. I suppose that getting started is the hardest part, just kind of being brave and stepping out and being vulnerable, I suppose, to share the vision that you have with other people because I think we're often scared that people can be so critical and we're already self-critical of ourselves and we don't want to put that added pressure onto ourselves. But yeah, I think you're absolutely right that we just need to sometimes do it. And I'm proud of you, girl. I need to say that because I am really proud of what you're doing.
Thank you very much.
And
Sometimes I don't know, you want to pat yourself on the back, and then sometimes you're like, well, I think we need to pat ourselves on the back because starting from scratch and then putting that time, effort in, it's not easy. Not everybody can do it. Not everybody wants to do it. But I think once you start, you can't worry about what other people think. You've got to think, do I like it? If I like it, then I'll do it. And then if it can be something that you can sell, then all the better. But if not, I think I do say to people, it's not. I'm not traumatized, but it's my therapy. Doing my art creation, it gives me something to do. It's just you have a lot of ideas in your head, and then you just put them out there. So it's just something nice about it. And you don't know you can connect with one person, and it makes you feel really good. So it's a nice feeling.
yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with the fact that it is a kind of therapy. And, like yourself, you have a busy family life and you're way more, and you have a career also. You're way more than those things. This having that creative space is something that you can do for yourself. And as women, I think we often don't do that enough. We don't give ourselves the opportunity to have that space. And that's where you can burn out or become a bit down or whatever, giving yourself that artistic space, whether it's just resting, which is obviously good self-care, or expressing yourself, be it in the way you dress or what you write or creations as well. I think it's really, really important.
Yes, it is really important. I think because when I go to do events, I don't know why there seem to be a lot more women who have businesses, but then you see their partners sometimes come and help them, support them. I mean, like when I do mine, my husband comes and helps me maybe if I need to set up my gazebo. But it's just having that extra support there, just to say, even that you don't know where it's going to go, but just actually having seen that you're going out there doing your thing, but you actually have that extra support is really helpful, beneficial. Whether you're going to be rich, I don't know. But again, it's just one of those things. You just go out and you're just thinking, well, I've got all this information or this knowledge in my head. I want to pass it on to people and people enjoy it. If the beauty of my work helps somebody to maybe go and do their own thing, then you're doing something right, which is good. So it's yeah, I think it's really good to basically go with your passion. It doesn't have to be expensive. You don't think, oh, because somebody else has done it, I can't do it. Theirs is different to yours. You were different. You put your own spin on it. So I think you just always have to go with it. Go with it. Don't have any regrets.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Because I think you can often worry that think, oh, someone else has got something similar, or I don't want it to seem like I'm copying somebody else and that type of thing. When actually, there's only one of you. There's only one of you, and you're never, even if you wanted to try to replicate what someone else has created, it's sort of near impossible because only you know what it is, what you want to create. So yeah, definitely go with that. I advocate for that. And I think it's also lovely in our situation as well, the fact that we do support each other and we do try and be cheerleaders to one another. Because I think often, sometimes in some female circles, it can be that, it's already a man's world, which can have its own pressures and elements of negativity. It's really important that as women that we do support each other, that we do celebrate each other and try and encourage each other to do whatever gift we want to present to the world, because when you put yourself out there and feel vulnerable, it's nice to know, like you said, that you have got that support behind you.
Yeah, but some of my biggest champions, apart from my own family members, are females. And I'm not saying so the men don't get into it, but it's like I've got friends who will let me know when events are on, or why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? I've got one friend in particular, Vanessa, who so many times with poems, somebody's leaving work, somebody's retiring, and she will commission me to do a poem. If your work is good, even sometimes you think, oh, it's not that brilliant, but if somebody's paying their hard-earned money, then your work is good for somebody. So it's quite nice. You always have that doubt, oh, am I charging too much? Am I charging too little? But you're just a non-name brand at the moment. But that for me, if I was to, I wouldn't want my prices to be so out there that people would not be able to afford them, on the everyday salary, you wouldn't be able to afford them. So it's nice that you have the support from people who, if you say, "Oh, this costs £40," they're not quibbling about, "Oh, that's expensive," but because they know the time, the effort, the energy you put into it, and it's a one-off, which is really nice. So a lot of my pieces are one-offs, and
Mm.
it's a case of, well, um, you can buy them, but you're not paying for my time, because really, if you pay for my time, I won't be able to sell them, not as they are. So, but it's nice when you get that support. It's really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. The fact that you give that bespoke, specialized poem is beautiful. Where else can you get that?
Yeah. Well, now AI is doing it, so you have to be careful.
True. In fact, while we talk on that, the whole AI thing, I'm not really into it. I know about it. It's a bit something that unnerves me a little bit because we still need people, and there's plenty of us around in this world. So it's it's nice to have that personal touch. I've tried that magic write on, I can't remember what it was. I wrote something and I thought, oh, let me just try this magic write because it keeps popping up. But just didn't. It didn't sound like me. It didn't sound like me, so I just took it off and just stuck with what I'd written because I think you can lose. AI's good at giving you the flamboyant words and all of that, but it loses a little bit of that personal touch, which is something that was raised by the production and like film writers, wasn't it? When they were trying to bring AI in and went on strike. And I totally get that. A robot can do so much and it may have all the vocab
Mm.
at its at its fingertips, as such, virtual fingertips, but it will not have that personal touch, that personal flair.
Yeah, it's very true. I mean, like when I write poems, I don't look. My inspiration is the outside world, and the robot doesn't know the outside world because it can't see the nuances that people do, the things that they say. So when I write, it might be a little bit funny, or sometimes it might, it could be sarcastic. I don't know whether AI can be sarcastic. So there's certain things in that when you're writing it from a personal touch. So I can understand why people were obviously protesting because then they take the so what happens to all those people whose jobs are taken away because now an AI can do it. So we need to have that creativity. And also, what's going to happen to our brains if we don't use them? They're meant to be creative, but if an AI now does it all, what will idle hands and all that? So we need to do something. Like I think it can help with some things, give you maybe inspiration, but not with everything. Not with everything.
Yeah, I fully agree. I fully agree. Nothing better than personal touch, to be honest. Nothing better than that. We're already so um, reliant on smart,
Mm,
smart things, smart gadgets. And, I still like a book. I've got my Kindle. And then when I think, oh, yeah, there's a certain book on the Kindle, I need to get it, it's always flat because I like to read a proper book because I'm a little bit old school like that. I like turning the pages. I like turning the corner of the page, which probably annoys a lot of people when, when I've got to a certain point. And the Kindle's handy. I like it for when I go on holiday, so I don't have to bring lots of books if I do get the chance to actually read. But yeah, it's nice to
mm,
still have the old
mm,
school, authentic things, I think.
yeah. And modern technology is very good, but I think it makes us lose our sense of doing things for ourselves. I think it is a case of being a bit lazy because you can just go on to. I mean, before you used to have to go to the library to get information. I'm not saying that it's not good now, but if we need to do a school report or whatever, we have to go to the library. Now it's just like on Google, and does Google then or whatever web search does it give you all the information you need, or do you then have to go and look for yourself? If it gives you all the information you need, what exactly are you learning? Nothing much.
Totally. Because even with that, you can go to Google, but someone still had to put that information there in the first place. And I think we were really blessed in that way. In
Mm,
fact, just to say that the library, I don't know about the central library, but the library that was in Pear Tree, um, in our hometown. And I have such good childhood memories. I just closed my eyes for a minute there and took myself back of going to the library, getting books and getting a tape and then moving on to them booking out a CD when you weren't, you didn't have quite that many pennies to get because CDs were a new thing and quite expensive at the time. Didn't quite have enough cash to go and get one. So you think, oh yeah, I want a CD on Jackson's Five. I'm just going to go to the library and get it there and get excited when they were like, oh, there's new stuff in, because they were used to you going there. You had that person that you could ask for specific
mm.
things or order things in. And that was so lovely. And that's something that this next generation have just like lost. They've got libraries, but I think the function of a library is so different now. So different.
Because when you go into the library, you can't find something. You actually speak to the librarian, and they can talk to. But
Hmm.
now it's a case of you don't necessarily need to speak to anybody. The librarian, I don't know whether there's so many librarians now, but you have to go in and speak, and then maybe you as a child, know the different code numbers of where the books are. So the indexes. So there's lots of little things you can learn from a library, which I think is a bit lost now. And also, that you have to do time management because I used to go to the library in town, and that it's going to be closed at a certain time on a Saturday. So you've got to go there really, really early. It's closed on the Sunday. It's closed at these of it, but yeah, I think the library is a good place to go at the time. Uh,
Yeah. It was definitely because there weren't computers at home. So if you wanted to access a computer, or do you remember those machines? And I can't remember what they were called, where you could look at historical like papers or old news, and you had to book it for one. You had to book it, and then you'd put I don't know if you put something inside it, but you'd roll it like that to go through these old like archive material. They were really cool. I didn't really understand how it worked, hence why I'm not describing it very well, but it was just something good to play on.
I don't know what they're called. I know what you're talking about though. Yeah. I never like to go and look for anything so old though. No.
So I guess, yeah, going back to your creativity, tell us, what was your inspiration?
My inspiration for writing poetry, I don't know. I don't know where it came from. I've always loved doing English at school. So I don't know where it came from. But then there's just the art part. I think it just came because it came in 2019. I was doing an event selling some of my poetry books, and I wanted to do something for Black History Month. And I thought, okay, let me try and source a map of Africa. And I was trying, I asked my friends, they couldn't know. And then I found something on the internet and I asked them to do me a map of Africa. And when they sent it to me, I thought, oh, that's not what I wanted. But it came in as like a two visit as part of my art. And then somebody suggested, oh, why don't you put a mirror at the back? I said, oh, okay, that looks good. So before you know it, you already got your art up and running. So map of Africa. I thought, okay, I don't want to keep on doing African maps, different material. So I'm going to do silhouettes. So silhouette of an African king, African queen, African princess, and then do it and putting them into calendars as well. Some of my art prints. And before you know it, you've got all these ideas, not enough money, not enough time, but at least you're doing something. So when it comes to selling my things as well, it's quite nice that people are who I don't know are parting with their money and buying something that I've handmade. So it's a nice feeling. So the inspiration, people, basically people. Uh,
Yeah. And it's a good way for you to connect, which I have to say that Bisi created some beautiful letters, because obviously I'm not going to share my son's name, but in my son's name in the Yoruba tribe material, because that's part of his kind of genetics,
well, it's just
not
generally,
genetic,
yeah.
but they're beautiful. And so that's something, just hop on board. So for people to be able to find you, Bisi, if people want to look you up, if people want to get bespoke written word, or access your art, where can they find you? Share with us.
So my website is www.angelica, so Angelica poems at .com. And my artwork is on Instagram as well, but you can also find it on my website, as in so QUEENBART Creation 7. So Queen Bee Art Creation 7. That's where you can find me. So you can have to scroll right down to see a lot of my creations I've done. Um, so you can see, and some of them have been sold, some of them are, but they're all one off. So if you like something that's sold, I'm not going to recreate. Well, it won't be the same. It'll be different material, so there won't be 100% recreate. I just get a little bit bored of doing the same. So they're all one offs. That's where you can find me.
Yay. And that's what makes it so special, because you know that you're getting something unique. So if you want some jewelry, some artwork, calendars, I've had
Mm,
calendars, jewelry. Yes, I have. Yes. And obviously poems as well. You know where to
mm,
find Bisi. And I'll put the links to Bisi's
mhm.
sites in the comments. So, Bisi, I just want to say thank you so much for your time today. I know that it's been a bit of few technicalities, but yeah, you're a very special friend, and I appreciate you. And I'm so proud of you. You're inspiring, and I look forward to seeing all the new things that you're creating.
Thank you very much, and thank you for, as well, Tracy, for letting me be on your first podcast. It's like, ooh, it's nice when somebody's got a dream and the dream is now come real and you're part of it. So I'm inspired by you as well, to know that sometimes you don't want to step out of your comfort zone, and sometimes you just go for it, see where you can take you. So well done to you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you, Bisi. And so we'll sign off, and I hope that you were able to get something from our first episode. Whoop whoop. And that, yeah, look Bisi up, access some of her beautiful creations. Take care, everyone.